I have a shocking bit of news for you. Are you ready? Washington, D.C. is constructed around the wealthy, the powerful, and well-connected. Now, I know this is surprising. Other than big oil and Wall Street, big pharma, money in politics, all the connections to lobbyists and the rich. Other than that, I have another example that shows you that, yes, indeed, Washington, D.C. is for the wealthy. So this tweet from new Congressperson Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. There are many little ways in which our electoral system isn't even designed nor prepared for working class people to lead. This is one of them. Don't worry, by the way, we are working it out. So this from the Hill. Representative-elect Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez told the New York Times in an interview Thursday that she will need to wait for her congressional salary to kick in before she can rent an apartment in D.C. She explained that the transition period will be very unusual because I can't really take a salary. I have 3 months without a salary before I'm a member of Congress. So how do I get an apartment? Those little things are very real. Ocasio-Cortez also told the Times that she had saved money before leaving her job at a restaurant and had planned accordingly with her partner. We're kind of just dealing with the logistics of it day by day, but I've really been just kind of squirreling away and then hoping that gets me to January, she said. So this obviously is just another in a long line of examples of how Washington, D.C. is constructed around the wealthy. Most people that make it to D.C., whether you're a congressperson or a senator, they come from wealth. A lot of them come from their connections to their big donors. They have deep roots in whether it's the wealthy or whether it's large corporations, and they already had a previous life where they were making a ton of money. Many of them were lawyers before. So this is just, it's funny that we're only really hearing about this now because it shows you that there really haven't been that many working class people moving from a working class lifestyle to a lifestyle of somebody that is working in Washington, D.C. So this is going to be a complete transformation for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And I think there are some other congresspeople as well that have now made it to D.C. and are going to also experience this. So Rashida Tlaib is another one that ran on a platform of taking no corporate PAC money and ran on a platform of progressive policies for the people. There's a number of other candidates as well. If you look at Justice Democrats candidates that made it to Congress, a lot of them come from a working class lifestyle. So this is an issue that people don't really think about because to live in D.C., you need to make a lot of money. It's quite an expensive area. Now, Fox News caught wind of this and appeared to make fun of Ocasio-Cortez being a working class person. Watch.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she says that she's having a hard time with something. Do we have it now or should I wait? Okay. Let me know when we have it. So Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says this: I have 3 months without a salary before I'm a member of Congress. So how do I get an apartment? Those little things are very real. She said this to the New York Times. What do you think of that?
It's very Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez to say this. I think her supporters like it. This is who she is. She comes from the Bronx. She's young. She's the youngest member of Congress. It's tough to get an apartment in D.C. I also think she's not alone. She might be the only one talking about it, but a lot of congressmen in Washington, D.C. say, given the cost of living there, it's not exactly the Washington.
I think that quote was preceded by a year and a half ago. I was tending bar in Brooklyn, or something, which is true, by the way.
Well, that's playing to her base. But the fact of the matter is, Washington D.C. and the greater metropolitan area is the most expensive county in the world to live in America now. So I think what she's talking about is all of the money in Washington, all of the wealth in Washington, all of the power, and a little simple person like her from New York can't find a place to live. It is a brilliant political lie.
On the other hand, her resume that Shelby just mentioned about being from the Bronx, it turns out when you read deeper, she had a lot more formative years in Westchester County, New York, which is a little ritzier than the Bronx. I'm from New York. I don't want to throw stones at any boroughs or counties, but her resume doesn't always match up. And some of those shoots during the campaign, she had these multi-$1,000 outfits that could pay a month's rent in Washington, D.C. You're right. Well, I live in Washington. It's very expensive, but she's been all over the map on some of this stuff.
Overall.
All right. Now, I'm going to get to Ocasio-Cortez's response to this clip in a second. But first, I just want to address some of the comments here. So, this quote, she's playing to her base. Ocasio-Cortez is simply playing to her base. Everything is politics to these people because this is how they operate. Ocasio-Cortez is just a normal person. She is a working class person who has now won her seat in Congress. So this is something that she is going through and she is sharing with people because it's a real experience. It's a relatable experience for anyone of working class. Now, maybe they're acknowledging there that working class people shouldn't be voting for Republicans because Republicans are clearly about the wealthy and large corporations. But Ocasio-Cortez is not playing to her base unless her base also includes poor white Republican voters, which I think they should. Her base should include them if those voters actually woke up to the real issues and what the Democratic Party, or especially someone like Ocasio-Cortez, is fighting for. But now let me get to Ocasio-Cortez's response to this video. So there's two tweets here. The first one, thank you all for the overwhelming outpour of support. As I mentioned, we've been preparing and we'll be fine. However, it's been very revealing to see how gleefully Fox News hosts crack jokes about working class people. It reveals what they actually think about us. And she followed up by saying, 1. Fox News, why can't any of your anchors say my name correctly? It's been 5 months. 2. It is bizarre to see 1% salaried anchors laugh at the U.S. housing crisis. 3. Never purchased pricey clothes and always told my story, but repeating lies until they are believed is your thing. Yeah. So she just completely shut them down. Now, it's true. I mean, you look at Fox News here, and sure, I don't think they really went after Ocasio-Cortez too hard in that clip, but it's the whole feeling around the clip. Instead of taking what Ocasio-Cortez is saying seriously about how expensive housing is in DC, and maybe talking about how expensive housing is in general for everybody, and how that's a real issue that should be addressed, they're just laughing about it. They're just saying, oh yeah, of course, DC is expensive. Yeah, there's so much money there. They don't get to the heart of the issue and why, for example, money in politics is a problem. But, I mean, of course they don't. It's Fox News. Like she said in her tweet there, Ocasio-Cortez, these are 1% salaried anchors. They are part of the wealthy and well-connected. They benefit from this current system. So why would they be critical of it? But thankfully, we have somebody like Ocasio-Cortez who is from a working class background in Congress to fight for real working people.